Okay, so this is Dark Souls 2. I am Oginam.
I'm Fearful Ferret.
We're going to be doing this a little strangely because this isn't a two-player game. We're going to be both holding the controller. So I'm holding the right side, dealing with most of the action buttons and the camera.
I've got the left side with the left D-pad and the left thumbstick, so I get the precision movement, he gets the precision timing, and hopefully we won't mess things up. We'll just hold the controller up for a bit so we can show. So I get this side, he gets that side. I'm pretty sure we never cross over into each other's stuff, so
yeah, we shouldn't.
We're gonna have a good time.
You have to go up to new game.
Oh, okay.
So this timer will start when I skip this cutscene, and I will go ahead and hit it. It's right here. I got it. Don't worry about it. We're cool. So 3, 2, 1, go. Did I hit it?
All right.
So because I was worried about the timer, I ran out of stamina there a little bit. But stamina is one of the most important things in this game. The green bar in the upper left corner pretty much dictates all of our actions. I'm not draining it fully because when you do, I can't continue to run afterward. So you're going to see a lot of me running up until a certain point and then stopping for a second and letting the green bar...
Oh,
nope.
Never mind.
There we go.
All right, all right. Press B. No.
Oh, you're going to make me do this, aren't you?
B.
Mm-hmm.
A.
Fine.
A.
Okay.
Start. All right, we're good. So now we're going to take off all our clothes because it's faster.
Yeah. And so yeah, if you'll notice when I'm running here, right before the green bar completely depletes, I'm stopping and letting it refill. If it did deplete, I would have to wait until I get to 120% of the green bar rather than just filling back up to actually start running again.
The less armor you're wearing, the faster your stamina comes back. So by taking off your armor, you get a little bit faster stamina regen, which lets you run more often and also get more attacks and rolls off during fights. So even though armor helps a lot by reducing damage, if you're really good at the game and really good at dodge timings and such, then going with little armor and no armor can help you do fights very, very quickly, which is, of course, useful in a speedrun. So our first target up here is going to be whoever this guy is. I keep forgetting his name.
Yeah, the first enemy we kill in the game is an NPC. Cheers. So this is Maughlin, the armor smith. We don't actually want the armor he sells, we want the armor he has. Because, of course, the armor smith has the best armor in the game, and he's wearing it.
Yep. Every single piece of his armor increases the number of souls dropped by enemies. And we're going to need a lot of souls from killing bosses, so we're just going to be wearing his armor for pretty much the entire first 2/3 of the game because our ultimate goal is to collect a lot of souls, and getting that extra souls from his armor is integral to this route.
So the primary objective for the beginning half of this game is to collect 1 million soul memory. There are 2 ways you get through a specific door in this game at the Shrine of Winter. One is collecting 1 million soul memory per whatever your new game level is. We're in new game level 1, so we need to get 1 million. If you're in new game plus, you need to get 2 million, etc. Or you kill 4 specific bosses. So yeah, we need to get to the soul. The thing you're going to see us be the most wonky on in the run is going to be menu management, just because a lot of the runners for this are used to just doing it by muscle memory, so even we don't remember some of the button presses we would do.
Yeah, we basically just had to relearn the menus for the entire game, because the way that you get it learned in your mind is just that your right thumb does something, then your left thumb does something, then your right thumb does something. And when you only control one of your thumbs, then all of the triggers you set in your mind for doing the stuff with your other hand just never happens. And so you forget the things that you have to do. So we pretty much just have to learn it from scratch to do 2 players, 1 controller.
So something we're doing for this run that you wouldn't do normally is wearing the Seldor's armor for the first half of the game. The reason we're doing this is because of the importance of us getting that 1 million soul memory. If we are short on certain things, it is actually really, really difficult to make it up without losing a considerable amount of time. So by having the cell doors on, even though we're going to be moving a little bit slower through the first half of the game, we take out that possibility and don't have to worry about some kind of crazy antics. Oh boy, so.
All right, so rest at the bonfire.
Yeah, definitely. So a little thing to note here, when you're on a ladder and you run completely out of stamina and you're holding B to go up the ladder quickly, you fall off the ladder. So I'm very surprised that that didn't just happen.
So we're going to buy a club, which we're going to use to fight the last giant, as well as a firebomb, which we're going to use to attempt to glitch here. So let's see if it's going to work.
Yeah, attempt is a good word for this one.
It's very difficult to do. Even when you do it with just one player, it's tough to get down. So here goes. Nice.
Nice.
Chest
Good.
bump.
Yep.
So there are explosive barrels on the other side of that wall, which you can explode, but you can actually explode them from that side of the wall, which you're not really supposed to do, because the particle for the firebomb can extend through the wall. All right, here goes. Nice. Close, but nice. So getting through a lot of fog gates in this game is kind of tricky because there are enemies around you that can cancel you out of the fog gate animation. So you have to approach them in specific ways so that you don't get knocked out of it. Homeward bound?
Sure.
And then club. And use.
So for this first boss here, we're going to be using the club with the aromatic ooze, which is the reason why we pick up the explorer as our starting class. The aromatic ooze is the most powerful melee starting anything you can get in the game. It just adds 50 magic damage to any melee weapon you can put it on.
Triple.
Yeah. I'm just gonna wait on it. Oh, of course. Yep.
Naturally. Nice.
So that's the first boss in the game.
If you stay near his legs, he'll almost always do stomp attacks, and those are pretty easy to dodge once you get down the rhythm. So you just stand by one leg as he's stomping with the other. Now we're gonna buy some bright bugs as well as the key to the blacksmith. Bright bugs are very, very powerful items. So we'll be using them for bosses later on. Then we're also going to talk to Maughlin so that she moves to Majula because we're going to need to buy stuff from her later. And she's going to be in a convenient place in Majula as opposed to being stranded out here in the forest.
Yep, double chest bump.
Nice. So equip the ring at the door.
Yeah. So normally you wouldn't equip the ring here. It's a little bit slower, but again, we want to be 100% sure that we don't have any problems with the souls. There you go. So getting the ring and the cell doors on for the whole of the first part of the game takes care of any of those issues. I'm gonna go ahead and life gem here.
Yep.
So there is a quick kill strat here on Pursuer. We've been getting it in practice, so I'm gonna jinx it right now by saying that. And
I literally never miss this doing it myself. I don't know what you're worried about.
Okay. Sounds good. Yep.
We got it. Nice.
Price bug?
Yep.
Nice.
So normally when you would kill a boss, you very, very quickly equip the entire Sildora outfit as well as the Silver Covetous Ring. But since we're 2 players, 1 controller, menus are much harder, so we don't really have the confidence that we can equip all of that in the time between killing the boss and actually getting the souls from the death.
So here we're heading back to Majula. We'll be heading back to this area, Lost Bastille, which you really didn't get to see there, a little bit later. In Majula, we're going to be doing a couple of things before we head on to the next boss, including upgrading the weapon we'll be using for the first part of the run, well, for most of the run, actually, and doing a little leveling up. We need one more dialogue.
Yeah, sorry.
Not optimal leveling up here, but we're leveling up 1 and 2 health so that we can actually do this next part with the cell doors on, so that we don't have to bother going into menus and taking it off, which we found to just be slower for us. So that is the rapier, probably the best weapon in the game if you talk to a speedrunner.
Right.
Everything else? Oh, maybe upgrade.
Reinforce, yeah.
I keep forgetting that we're picking up arrows instead of buying them here.
Yep.
Okay. There we go. And upgrading the rapier to a +3. Now we're going to go talk to one of the few invincible enemy or
characters.
Invincible characters in the game. I guess Dark Souls players have a tendency to think of everything as an enemy, even when it's an NPC. Pursuer Soul.
Right.
This cat is unkillable, as is the ghost in the castle. Don't know why, but they are, so... I mean, a ghost is a ghost, so that makes some sense, but...
Alright, and now for some precision movement, which is probably going to give everybody a heart attack, including
yeah,
us.
Here we go. This will be fun.
Alright. Holding?
Yep. Nice of you to check.
Can never be too careful with you.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Very nice.
Okay.
Do you want to heal? Okay. And I'm just going to hold forward.
Yeah, this one's a little tricky for me. Oh, I missed him. Okay, let's skip him, yeah. There's a backup for that. He just drops a large Titanite, so... Oh.
Just
we need
run past,
to
just
run.
run past.
Good. So there is a backup for that where we just pick up a large Titanite a little bit later. Let's get the effigy right here, too.
Yep.
So we're picking up a couple of...
I'm bad.
Picking up a couple of effigies just because there's a bit more chance of us dying in this run, given, you know, the control scheme we're using. And effigies, basically when you die, you lose a little bit of your max health, and you also look like a rotting corpse. So effigies solve both of those problems. If you hear me call them humanities, that's the Dark Souls term for them, and I have a tendency to do that. Sorry.
Alright, so we're going to do a bit of a safe jump here. Normally you can jump just directly up to where the ladder takes
do
you.
the hard one. Aw.
No.
Look at that, you got a good jump even, so yep, could have gotten the hard one.
Always easy in hindsight. We're going to be playing this area pretty safe as well, just because there are quite a few jumps that if you miss it, you just die.
Oh, that actually would have hit us.
Yep.
That dog has a few positions when you run by him, and the one where he's just facing directly at you is the one where you just get hit when you walk out from that ramp. It's not fun. Going a little bit slower through this area just because a lot of these drops are just death. Oh no, the robes are broken. Interesting fact, the effect of you gaining souls from these robes isn't affected by whether they're broken or not. You don't gain the armor from them anymore, but that doesn't matter. Rapier?
Sure. Then Brightbow.
So just a little bit of stamina management efficiency there. As soon as I was out of stamina, stopping to put the Bright Bug on, which we'll be using for the first boss. Or not the first boss, the first time we're going to be fighting Rotten. We fight Rotten 4 times in this run to get enough souls to make that 1 million mark that we need to hit.
Let's use a life gem. Alright, now it's time to fight Rotten for the first time. We're going to come back later with some bonfire ascetics to respawn him so we can get a ton of souls out of him, but for now we just want to get past him to get to the DLC area.
The least favorite attack of speedrunners with Rotten is when he just decides to back up.
That is a favorite attack because it literally always misses and you can get a ton of attacks in as he does it. We're fine. Still fine. Yes. So in future Rotten fights, he'll be a lot more powerful, so taking a hit like that would probably have just killed us. But since this is the first time we're fighting him, he's at his weakest, so we managed to survive.
Want to get out of that room with all the fire in it as quickly as possible when we're that low on health.
Yeah. So now we're heading to the DLC. We aren't going to be killing any bosses here, but there are some items that are very important to pick up. One is going to be a bonfire ascetic. We need to collect 3 of those in total to respawn Rotten as many times as we need. So this is one of them, short bow.
So if you are familiar with the DX11 version of the game, Scholar of the First Sin, this is actually where the path would diverge a lot. You want to get arrows onto?
Yeah.
You can't go into this DLC in Scholar of the First Sin without first collecting its key. If you're playing in the base version of the game, you get the DLC key when you make your character. It's the case with all the DLCs in Scholar of the First Sin. So instead of going here, you would actually have to go fight 2 other bosses later in the game to get to the next bonfire ascetic that you'd need.
Well, let's equip Alluring Skulls of the bonfire.
Okay. Oh, let's rest bonfire for health too, yeah. That's easier.
We have a $1,1200 donation from Monkey Man.
Nice.
Nice.
Here's my customary Dark Souls GDQ donation. This is dedicated to my wife and the medical professionals who take care of her during surgery this year. Praise the animals.
Homer Bones?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Keep forgetting to unequip stuff off the hotbar, but that's fine.
So at a lot of points in this run, you'll see the camera move when Ferret's running. That's not actually me moving it, even though we have auto adjust turned off. The camera in this game really likes to just auto adjust anyway. It can be frustrating to learn that if you're a new runner to the game, but it's also a little easier to play the game that way if you can get used to it, because then you don't have to deal with camera management all of the time. And in this case, because I'm sure Ferret would prefer him moving rather than me moving the camera and kind of running him off of cliffs, it's actually easier if I don't touch the camera a lot of the time.
Yeah, if we both try to do the movement stuff, him with the camera.
Got that one.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah, there's one more. There's one more.
Got it.
It's all you.
So there we're shooting a switch to change a door. It has multiple positions, so we need to get it to the one that we can actually go through. Turn.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay.
That's the scariest trap that we could get, because that one can actually kill you.
DLC soul. So jump.
Yes, let's do that. So a bit of a divergence from the way you would do this quickly also here is that we're getting this soul to make up for any of the smaller souls that are a bit trickier to get. Put us in position to get hit by other enemies and things.
Not that this one is entirely safe, but we'll go for it.
It's pretty safe when they just stand there and do nothing, but yeah. The enemies in this DLC, sometimes not that bright.
This room is uncomfortable.
So here we're picking up the Flynn's ring. I like to think of it as a reference to Tron, but it probably isn't. And the Flynn's ring gives us a lot of additional attack power, as long as you have a low equip max burden, which is a bit complicated, but basically it just gives us a bunch of extra attack power.
Yep. And now we're going to pick up a large Titanite shard, which is the backup strat for missing that crystal lizard earlier. We also have to be very careful on these ledges. Okay.
I'm not touching run here.
It's
we're
probably
good.
a good idea.
I'm going to turn the camera.
Okay, okay.
Cool.
We're good.
This is the dainty walking along the very precarious path strategy.
Not terribly popular with speedrunners, but sometimes you have to.
Even that guy was surprised we made it. Something, yeah, we have Bo and then Flynn's on the next one?
Yep.
All right. So every Souls runner actually runs the game a little differently, especially with Dark Souls 2. Everybody's got their own method of doing things, putting items on in different places, and even how they fight bosses. So the reason why we're talking to each other and saying things is to help us both remember, because our instincts might not be the same. We get to certain places and just, that's not where I would do it, so one of us has to remember to remind the other person what's going on. And this is probably one of the harder bosses we're going to fight in the game. If things go badly here, we could end up fighting 2 of these at once, which preferably won't be what happens.
Okay.
So, number 2 is on the ground. Let's back up a little bit off that. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, fighting them separately, which is exactly what you really want. Of course, this one's going to make it hard.
Not quite.
Nice.
So for a lot of bosses, sidestepping them is more efficient than trying to roll dodge everything they do, because roll dodging takes stamina and sidestepping doesn't. So I might as well. So for Ruined Sentinels, I forgot about that guy.
Yep.
Nice reaction, Zogi. Good job.
I get a cookie.
So with Ruined Sentinels, you can dodge pretty much all of their attacks by just knowing when to sidestep them and just walking around them clockwise as they begin their attacks. So we were able to sidestep, I think, all but like one of their attacks there, which is really efficient because that gives us pretty much all of our stamina for attacks. And pop 3 souls.
We have a $200 donation from Hexalim. Amazing stream, amazing people. Praise the sun and save the animals.
Praise the sun. So here we're picking up the last bonfire aesthetic meme. Again, a nice little precarious ledge for us to deal with.
Okay.
This one's a bit easier, though. And then heading back to Majula to do a little, leveling up and NPC killing and kind of the things you do in a Dark Souls game.
Do you remember how much bigger?
So that actually skips her standing up animation so that you can actually,
Remind me of the numbers.
14?
14, 23, 30?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
If I'd hit her the first time, she would have been able to start doing the level up right away, but I kind of hit the rock, so.
And of course, aiming is my responsibility, so that's on me. All right, this guy's been a great help to us, but we're gonna have to say goodbye.
Sorry, Leningrass, I love you.
We need to get up to 1,000,000 souls, but even that is very carefully routed out, so we have to even get like the 2,000 souls from that just to be able to make it. Do you want to buy any life gems?
No, we're good.
All right.
So picking up the 10 Casel that we picked up in the DLC is going to give us a little bit of leeway on some stuff. So there are a couple souls we skip, and we aren't required to kill some of the enemies in this next part. It can actually be a little precarious. They hit pretty hard and also do poison, so you can get poison stacked, and they can take out a chunk of your health, which can end with you dying before you even have a chance to heal. If you're unlucky. Their AI is a little strange sometimes. But basically we're going to be killing that NPC that we just freed by you throwing alluring skulls onto her, which will cause the enemies to attack her instead of us. Normally you would have to stand there and attack some of the enemies as well to get some of them dead, and this way we don't have to do. See, that's, yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Alluring skull's way over there, and he hits me. Or hits us, sorry.
All right. We good to leave? One attack?
No, she's good, she's good.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
See?
We
We're
got it.
fine.
We got it.
Homer Bone and Dark Sun?
Yeah. Okay.
We have a $300 donation from Rokugels. What a completely absurd way to destroy Dark Souls 2. Praise the sun and save the animals.
Do you want to pop the soul of the hero at the bonfire so we get more resins?
Sure, sounds good. So up here we're going to be getting some gold pine resins, which...
Soul.
Yeah, sorry. Which are basically like the aromatic oozes we were using earlier to increase the damage our weapon does, except these ones do lightning damage instead of magic. With the Rotten who we're going to be fighting, and most of the enemies in the game don't have a lot of lightning resistance, so it just works out that these happen to be kind of the most powerful ones you can get, at least for our purposes in the route. We're also going to be getting the Chloranthy ring instead of getting the no ghost. Cool. So sometimes there are ghosts in that forest that like to come up and bother you or kill you while you're talking to the NPC here. Yes, there is an NPC here. He's the head on the pile of rocks. He is missing his body, and he would like you to find it. Sadly, we do not have the time. So we're getting the Chloranthy ring instead of the RTSR. The RTSR is the red tearstone ring, and it works by giving you additional attack power based on having low health. Having low health when you're doing two-player one controller, not exactly the thing you want. So we're getting the Chloranthy ring instead, which increases our stamina regeneration and will be more useful for us throughout the later parts of the run and actually make up some time that the RTSR normally wouldn't. And here we're Dark Signing. Dark Signing, unlike Homeward Bones, gets rid of all your souls, but we don't need any at this point because we've already bought the stuff we need to buy. So now it's time for the additional 3 Rottens we're going to be fighting. Each of these Rottens is in the next level of difficulty, so this Rotten we're just making here is going to be New Game Plus, then New Game Plus 2, and New Game Plus 3. Basically at this point, getting hit is a death by the Rottens, so we really can't make any kind of mistakes against them. Oh, sorry. Let's put that on and then go to ring.
Yep. All right.
So yeah, Rotten's radial attacks are kind of hard to dodge when you're at off angles. I'm usually pretty good at that, so that's on me. It's, that stuff can happen.
I forgive you.
Thankfully, that was really early in the fight, so not a big deal.
Yeah, and we bought plenty of extra resin, so we don't have to worry about running out.
So 2 more. So each of these Rottens has more health than the other. We're going to be using gold pine resins for the first 2, and for the last one we're going to be bright buggy and using gold pine resin. The bright bugs give us additional damage and additional damage resistance, but that's not enough damage resistance against a boss that's in New Game +3 to survive a hit.
Yeah, the only of his attacks that I think we can survive at this point are the initial hit from his grab, which we can quit out of. But other than that, everything is just a one-shot.
Getting his back against a wall like this is a good thing, because then when he's backing up, he can't really go anywhere.
Shit.
I should have yelled YOLO or something, my bad.
Yeah, we had different plans there.
Yeah. So I was going for the kill, and Ferret was doing the actual strategy that we've talked about and planned and practiced.
I was being fearful. Don't worry about it. All right, so make sure to pick up souls right away.
Yes.
So at this point, it's very important to pick up our souls, because otherwise we'll lose all the ones that we got from fighting the first Rotten. Not picking it up wouldn't affect our soul memory, so we'd still be able to get through the Shrine of Winter. We'd just be underleveled for the rest of the run.
So one more, and yeah. Rotten's usually not the scarier fight in this, just because even though he can one-shot you, we've had to fight him so much that memorizing his patterns and the attacks that he does, and even manipulating his AI, is just something we're better at than any other boss in the game. It's just a little tricky when you're, you know, doing a two-player. We're gonna do right moving.
Yep.
So thankfully, you can actually cancel out of that animation going into the fog gate there.
So if we were doing just one player, one controller, we'd probably be using a lot of different strats on Rotten, where we'd be sidestepping a lot of his attacks to save stamina. Okay.
Okay, so there's
very,
the swag.
very good
I just,
backstep.
backstep iframe. Backstep has a couple of iframes, and usually, even if you happen to backstep something, you still get hit by it. So.
Yeah, I was in the process of moving the stick backwards, so in the moment that he pressed B, it just happened to be in the neutral position. So we got very lucky there.
So a little manipulation on Rotten here when he's doing that overhead slam. If you're out range of the second one, he can't do the third. He just won't. So the idea is to roll the first attack and then walk out of range of the second one, which is pretty easy to do mostly, and then you won't get a third attack on it. It's the attack that can waste the most time and waste the most stamina when you're fighting Rotten.
He's not in the best position because it's possible for him to just back up over that fire and we can't get to him. So hopefully we can kill him before he backs up.
Also, when bosses do grab attacks like that, they have hyper armor, so we can't really retaliate quickly against it.
All right, so with that, and after we pop the bustles that we got from him, we're going to have 1,000,000 soul memory, assuming that the route went according to plan, and that'll allow us to get through the Shrine of Winter. So before we move through the Shrine of Winter, we have to spend all these almost 1,000,000 souls to level up to insane amounts. Sorry.
Oh yeah, let's not discard them. That'd be
Unfortunate. Is that enough?
Let's see.
Yep.
We're over the 1,000,000.
Yep.
Okay, we have a $200 donation from Eric Hahn. Since I am donating during Dark Souls, all things must die, both frames and animals. Go down to them, look them straight in the eye, and then leave them behind. But since that is not an option, Wondershot. Keep up the good work and praise the sun.
Life gems?
Yeah.
Yes. So this is also something you wouldn't normally be doing if you're doing this one player. You'd just be like, oh, yep, I'm not going to take any damage, so why would I buy more life gems? But yeah, pretty safe strat for us to go ahead and pick up some more.
We just take out the doors at the... Okay, no, that's fine.
No, we'll do it there. It's fine.
No, you're way. You're good.
Too late.
Fine.
We have a $125 donation from Snow Boulet. I'd like to thank Oginam for making me discover this great community and this event. Good luck to the runners, and money goes to Oginam's place.
Hi, Snowball. Love you. So this is the door we had to get through. I didn't quite explain it earlier, but there's 4 bosses you kill normally that are spread out across the beginning part of the game that gets through that door. And normally, if you do that, the door just opens for you. Basically, you've met its requirement. But getting the 1,000,000 soul memory is equivalent to becoming strong enough to open the door yourself. Oh yeah, I want to get the effigy here. Hence why when you get there, instead of the door just opening in front of you, you actually have to push it open.
Let's do Sildar.
On older patches of the game, we've had a number of different ways to get past the shrine. The any % run of the game, which is 16 minutes long for world record, is one of those ways. We had some other ones which involve like jumping around on invisible barriers near the shrine and passing it, but those have been patched, and since we're doing current patch any %, which is probably the more run category, considering that you need to have much older patches to do the true any % for the game, you pretty much are going to have to deal with the million soul memory to get for the first part of the game. Here we have a interesting mechanic where these guys shoot you. No, where you have to kill them near some statues, and the statues actually absorb the souls instead of them going into your character. Then those statues open the door. Oh, and Villagen insisted that we not be completely naked, so do you want to put like some shoes on her or something?
Sure.
There we go. I don't know, maybe gloves would have been better.
Let's do gloves.
Yeah, we'll do gloves. How about that?
Those would be good.
Want those? Okay, there we go.
All right.
There you go, Villagen.
Fabulous.
So you'll notice that during the run, I'm actually two-handing my offhand, which looks like I'm holding my fist a lot. What this does is it actually skips a animation where when you're going to interact with objects, your character will put away their main hand weapon. Because the game knows that you don't actually have a main hand out because you're two-handing your offhand, it just skips it. And you just put your hand up and start doing whatever it is you need to do for the interaction.
It's also a slightly faster animation when going through fog gates,
Yeah.
which can be very helpful when you're going through a fog gate that enemies are liable to attack you at.
Up next is double Dragon Riders. Now, Dragon Riders, typically not a hard fight, but there are things that can happen that can make it difficult, specifically the attack pattern of the red Dragon Rider. So we'll see what he does and hope that it's not that bad.
Yep. Just remember not to lock on to the archer.
Yeah. So one of the things we were running into in practice is that locking on was actually causing, during that fight, the lock on to like jump between the Dragon Riders, either because of my movement or because of Ferret's movement or my messing with the camera or whatever it was. So we've gonna play it without the lock on. I normally lock on just to make sure the hits land, so we're just gonna hope that they do. Okay, good. So Red Dragon Rider decided to put up his shield instead of continuing to attack, which is a way better attack pattern. Oh,
Close.
so interesting thing about a lot of Dark Souls 2 bosses is sometimes they can just like turn a lot when they're doing their attack. And that slam that he does, he can rotate a good 90 degrees to hit you with it. This is a pretty good time for donations, by the way.
All right, we have a $100 donation from Anonymous. Thanks for the countless hours of entertainment, guys. Let's try hitting that 1 million, shall we? P.S. Save the animals. We have a $50 donation from Ben214. Excited to see a game that took me 3 weeks of beating my head against a wall get finished in an hour. Praise the sun. We also have a $50 donation from As Your Spirit. Had an amazing time meeting all these awesome people I've only known through Twitch at my first GDQ. Good luck to Ferret and Oginam in the 2-player, 1-controller Dark Souls 2 run, and save those frames. We have a $50 donation from Really Mario. I wish I didn't have to sleep so I could watch all the runs. Great job, runners, support staff, attendees, and viewers. I'm too soft-hearted not to save the animals.
clean up inventory stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
We have a $50 donation from Kojak. First time at SGDQ this year, and it was a blast. Great to see how close we are to the 1 million hype. Good luck to the rest of the runners, and a huge shout out to all the people behind the scenes. Praise the sun and kill the animals.
Hey guys.
All right.
We have a $50 anonymous donation, donating to support this great cause and this amazing run. This game is hard enough. Truly remarkable skills being demonstrated here by Oginam and Fearful Ferret. Donation is runner's choice. Praise the sun.
So the entire purpose of that very long elevator ride was to pick up this key to the door at the bottom of the elevator. So now I just dark sign back and can continue. The next boss is going to be Looking Glass Knight, but everybody calls him Mirror Knight because he looks like a Mirror Knight. And he's somewhat formidable. His shield is very special because it's always active. For most bosses, their shields don't actually do anything unless they're doing the animation where they're holding up their shield. But with Mirror Knight, if you hit his shield, even if he's not holding it up or anything, it'll still reflect your attack and he will take 0 damage. And you have very long recoil. So we have to be very careful to circle around, I think, to his left so that we avoid being on his shield side. And sidestepping to the left can also sidestep a lot of his attacks without having to dodge them. So here goes. Except
Okay.
there, apparently.
There you go. Yeah, just
Yeah. We got pretty good RNG there because he used a lot of lightning attacks. And his lightning attacks, well, let's do Flynn's Ring before we forget. Yeah. Okay. So his lightning attacks are his best because you can attack both before, like as he's charging it up, and also after he recovers from the attack. Whereas with most other attacks, he attacks too fast or you get any in before. So he did like 3 or 4 lightning attacks and we got a lot of damage in very quickly. So that went quite well.
one of the patterns that we've noticed doing the route when we do it with RTSR, when we're at low health, is that he has a tendency to do a single sword swipe and then go into lightning attacks. I have a feeling that his AI actually uses lightning attacks to try to finish off low health players, since they're his special attacks. In this case, we just got pretty good RNG there and got a bunch of lightning attacks anyway.
So this is a Shrine of Amana. It's a pretty tough area to get through, although before it was patched, it was like ridiculously difficult because all of the enemies with the magic missiles just always hit you because their tracking was ridiculous. So it's easier now, but it's still a pretty common place for runners to die just trying to get through.
So a little bit of odd manipulation there that's pretty recent. Walking around in the, not on the path there, but actually in the water, only has that one Dragon Knight actually attack you. I think, yeah, Acolyte Dragon Knight? I'm forgetting the name of the character, but...
Archdrake.
Archdrake, thank you.
Yeah.
Dragon Knights are the guys in the shrine. Got it. Normally all 3 of those guys would just come running at you, and it was really difficult. A lot of good runs died right there and at the fog gate that's coming up. It was a good try.
Yeah. that was not. So we dodge those with a combination of audio cues from just hearing it in our headphones when they're coming up, and also because since you run through here with pretty much the same route every time, the missiles come up to you at the same time for every run, so it's possible to anticipate most of them. Yeah.
We have a $50 donation from Anonymous. It's a speed run and not an animal rescue mission. Kill the animals.
Are you serious? So yeah, that's why the Archdrake's are scary. They stun lock.
I mean, they both did 3-hit combos, which is a pretty small amount of their arsenal, and they spaced it out perfectly so that we had 0 frames during which we could take any actions. So that was ridiculous, but okay.
Yeah, that was the thing that you're always as scared of when you go near Archdrakes.
Hello, Archdrake.
And at least we don't have to actually interact with the Foggate this time, so it's just a matter of killing the 2 casters and then moving past it.
We have a $1,000 anonymous donation. Dark Souls 1 and 2 are some of my favorite games. I never thought I would see a speedrun like this. I agree that both the frames and animals should die. Let this donation go towards taunt the animals. Since that isn't an option, Wondershot Lavos.
So yes, Amana is still one of those places that just kills runs, and even seeing this area now, it's actually much nicer. I love this area compared to the original version, where these homing missiles would basically follow you through all of Amana, and the Archdrakes would just destroy you.
Nice.
Okay.
We can just go.
So the reason that we took the Flynn's ring off earlier is because of this mushroom up here and his little buddies. They do corrosive or acidic attacks that destroy items, and the Flynn's ring has very low durability, and just getting hit once by that corrosive stuff will cause it to break, which would make the rest of the bosses in the run significantly harder. Let's put Flynn's back on.
Yep.
So this is Demon of Song, one of the coolest looking bosses with some of the silliest attacks.
His shell is similar to Mirror Knight's shield in that if you ever hit it, then it just reflects your attack. So you have to actually aim your camera up so your character angles his or her attacks up a bit so you don't hit the bottom of his shell.
Demon of Song is also very nice, and he gave us a key. This is not a key that we need to open doors, but a key that we're going to be using to beat the rest of the bosses in the game. So yes, we are going to be using a Keyblade. It's not our choice, it's just better than the rapier. So it is what we will use. There you go. Are we on effigies?
That's not. We've only died
Don't worry
once.
about it, yeah. Bow? Sorry, let me do that.
Okay. Nice. For the most part, we've been taking a lot of safety bonfires, just bonfires that you would normally skip, but we get here just in case we die. There's really no risk of death kind of in this next area, so we're not going to grab that one. Everything is fine. See, we're good.
Sounds scarier than it is.
We have a $10 donation from Skarmory. Knight Solaire would be proud of this jelly cooperation being shown right now. Praise the sun, put this towards runner's choice.
So a neat little trick up here. Fourth one here. Okay, stop. Nice. So these shield guys used to be a real pain because they would just stand there and block you, and there's an invader that spawns right behind you, but actually shooting an arrow above the left one's head will cause him to turn around and you can just run past. You have to do it from a certain distance though. If you're a little further back, he won't turn around. If you're a little further forward, he won't, so just gotta do it from the right spot. This guy here likes to ring a bell, and that bell will summon a bunch of enemies in this area. This area is already hard enough. This is the Velstadt Fog Gate. It is by far one of the most difficult places in any run because of all of the enemies that happen to be standing around the Fog Gate.
We got good attacks, so that worked out. It worked out.
Doesn't make that any less scary.
Little dodge and then resin.
Yeah. Oh wow, back off.
Yep.
So Velstadt has amazing hitboxes on his weapon. By amazing, I mean we don't understand them.
They tend to persist for a long time after his attack goes out, so even in his, what he appears to be recovery frames, his weapon can still hit you, even though it's just sort of sitting off to his side. Okay.
Now we have the King's Ring. The King's Ring is used to get past 3 doors in the game, all of which are progression essential. However, there is a skip for the second one, which we'll be trying to do, just to show it off, even though it's not necessary now that we actually have the ring. It's a cool little jump, so. The first door we're going to be using the King's Ring on is the one into Aldia's Keep that leads to a bunch of dragons and stuff. This is the part where I turn the camera as Fearful Ferret's running to make him run off into the mud, and I laugh. But I'm not going to.
This is a game about trust. All right, just do it.
Bow off.
Sure.
So in this upcoming room with the giant dragon skeleton, there are 2 skips where you can. We'll do the first one where you jump over the. You'll see the first one. The second one we're not going to do because Fearful Ferret likes to take the stairs, so we're going to do that instead. The second one's just another jump that allows us to get up a staircase, kind of in the middle area to the right. Fearful Ferret's going up the stairs on the left though. It saves a few seconds, but it's probably something we won't get the first time, so not really that important.
You just had to tell him about it, didn't you?
Yep, had to. It's a cool little jump. I found out about it before AGDQ when I ran it there and just had to learn it. And it was just face palming in the practice room because we never found it until then, and someone got the world record with it while we were at AGDQ, and just like I don't know how we never found that.
This is another safety bonfire in case the Guardian Dragon does not go our way.
There are some quick kill strats for the Guardian Dragon, which we'll be trying, or at least we'll be doing the setup for it. The quick kill stats usually rely on having the attack damage from the RTSR, which we don't have, obviously, but we still do a pretty significant amount of damage. So.
Yeah, and I'm just going to be attacking the feet, not the head.
Oh, we'll need ooze.
Oh yeah. Say when to start running.
Go.
No.
Now we're off. Now just run to like the edge.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is the kind of Guardian Dragon I got at AGDQ where he just flies around and is a big jerk. So let's hope he's not too much of a jerk. Oh, I thought I was closer.
Okay.
Okay.
By standing in the corner at the start, we can bait his fire breath attack, which lets us get almost all the full damage in. So if he just does a single stomp attack after that, it's a perfect fight. But he decided to fly around for a bit. Anything we need to do?
I'm just
All
enjoy
right.
the sunset.
Sure.
Sunrise? Can't tell.
I don't even know. It's a ready ho.
Take the key off.
Sure.
We have a $50 donation from L. McBob. Well done to the runners. It is always impressive how much knowledge they have for their chosen games. It's good to see so much awareness and money being raised for MSF, a great cause.
You can see Ferret there practicing his jumping attacks for the skip later while we're on the elevator.
Neither of us had ever done a jumping attack with like the left fist before. We were surprised that it was even possible.
Yeah, when he did it and we were practicing, I didn't know that that was a thing. And I've probably played a couple thousand hours of the game at this point, so yeah.
Yeah, if the only possible jumping attack would be right, then we would have to do it by I flick the control stick forward at the exact same time he does right trigger. And that kind of timing is ridiculous to do just with us like this, so fortunately we can just do it with me handling both inputs. Because I get the left hand stuff and he gets the right hand stuff.
So coming up here is a skip, referred to as the Dragonary skip or the Ellis skip. Hopefully we're gonna not miss it.
That would be good.
You take your time, line it up. We're good.
I got this. Okay.
Nice.
First try every time.
So this bridge will actually kind of stagger you as it wobbles around. If you wait long enough on this bridge and have broken some of the eggs in the dragon area that we just passed, a dragon will come destroy the bridge and kill you. Obviously, we're not waiting around, and we didn't destroy that many eggs. And it's actually faster to roll on the bridge because of the whole wobbling thing. So that's why I was doing that and not just running across.
That is the infamous shovel attack, which some of you may know from the Smo Nordenstein fight in Dark Souls 1. There we walk a long circle so that the guy with the hammer just decides to go off and do something random instead of attacking us at the door. Okay.
So that guy is pretty much the reason we took that bonfire back there, as well as the door that we had to open. He can just wedge you against a wall like that and combo you to death, and it's not fun.
And now we're going to attempt the King's Gate skip in the forest, which is pretty fun, but also very difficult to set up. Requires some pretty careful positioning.
So this skip was one of the two primary reasons that Vincent X9 was able to actually beat the game in under an hour on the console version less than a month after the game came out. It allows us to skip getting the King's Ring, as well as the early Shrine of Winter skip on the version 1 point. Nice.
Okay.
Getting up there. So let's walk forward a little bit to the center here. Okay, now let's line it up. Okay, walk out.
Okay.
Okay, so on one I'm backstepping and then holding B. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Made
Nice.
it. Nice, yeah. Without the. So we forgot to put the cat's ring on, which reduces your falling damage. So even if we had just made that, we may have actually died because we hadn't tested doing this without that on. So yeah.
We don't need anything now, right?
I don't think so.
Normally we would have taken off the cat's ring there,
Yeah.
but that's already done, so...
Whoops. Well, at least we know we have enough health to survive the jump.
You learn something every day.
I'll need the key on also.
Right.
So that's actually bad RNG, the two giants here killing all of the soldiers in the scene, because then they actually can attack you when you're running past them. We're going to be a little safer too and wait for this next fire volley before we go in on Giant Lord.
You can charge in and just try to dodge his his first sword swing, but it's basically all just shrouded in smoke.
Oh, yeah.
Further to the side, or either way. That tracking, though.
Giant Lord, often referred to as Camera Lord, because it's very difficult to see what he's doing most of the time. Yeah, I can't be in between him.
Yeah, would have gone around, but the wall was in the way. Alright, that's good.
So 2 more bosses left, and the hardest boss is the one coming up. The Throne Guardians are run killers for everyone. They can, if you're familiar with Dark Souls, they're the Smo and Ornstein fight, except without there being good ways to manipulate the AIs. they can just hold their shields up and be defensive for minutes. They can get extremely aggressive out of nowhere and just attack you. Let's do a human effigy.
Sure.
And we'll put the other set on.
Yep.
So we are actually putting armor on for the fight so that we have a little bit more resistance to the damage we're probably going to take from them. But yeah, this is a difficult fight. At AGDQ, I had a very rare occurrence of Throne Defender deciding to just turn into a Hunter-Killer missile and just follow me and kill me, even after doing an attack combo on basically the other side of the arena. So hopefully we will have better luck here. It's also very difficult because this is a split-second kind of decision-making fight, unlike some of the other ones where we can do setups.
Yeah, there are no consistent patterns with these guys. From moment one, they can do whatever they want to do, so you just have to react to what both of them are doing. And we both have to anticipate and react in the same way, so this is definitely one of the more difficult fights for this setup.
Okay, got lucky because there was a jump attack followed by a buff, which gave me a lot of attacks on Throne Watcher there.
So now things get pretty tense because Throne Defender can actually revive Throne Watcher, and if he has too much health, we're not going to be able to kill him before that revive goes off. So if he just revives like right now, we may have trouble, but it looks like we'll be fine. Yeah. Now then, the Chandra fight is all that remains, and she's actually fairly easy to manipulate. If you're a long ways away from her and using an item such as a life gem, she will almost always use a laser attack, and that gives you time to run in, get a few attacks off, and then run away.
So we actually use the life gem here to manipulate the laser coming out.
It also conveniently negates the constant damage you take from the curse urns that are floating about.
Oh, we might get a melee here.
Yeah, we'll just bait it.
Be careful about, yeah.
Yeah.
She's doing the arc one, just get under. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Effigy.
Okay, so... And now we're gonna have to wait a second because of the late gesture time.
So our first practice run was a 122 in game.
It was
and
130. 130 in game, 122, and then 112.
Yeah, and we messed around a bit and talked for a bit and like stopped at some points. So those are a bit longer than the run would be if we had taken it seriously. But yeah, 105 is pretty fantastic. So yeah.
So yeah, that is Dark Souls 2, 2-player, 1 controller. Again, I'm Oginam, this is Ferret, and there you go.